Gonna pop this thing into full electric mode and never thought a Jeep Wrangler would sound like this. My name is Omar and this is the 2021 Jeep Wrangler 4xe. So yeah, this is the first electrical Jeep, well, partially electrical. The 4xe is a plug-in hybrid, and with a full charge of its battery, you can get a total range of 21 miles. Oh look, Jeep wave. Even though this isn't my Jeep, he should subscribe to my YouTube channel, and so should you, or at least hit the like button. Cruising at 40 miles an hour, fully electric in a Wrangler. So what is this all about? Why did Jeep do a plug-in hybrid Wrangler? Well, in my opinion, this is just a preview of what you can expect from Jeep in the future and with the electrification of their lineup. According to Jeep and their marketing materials, Jeep will offer electrification options on each nameplate in the next few years as it strives to become the leader in eco-friendly premium technology. Wow, that sounds great. So right now here in the United States, we have the Wrangler 4xe and we also have a Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, which recently made its debut. But in Europe, they also get a Compass 4xe and a Renegade 4xe. I would love to see a Renegade 4xe here in the United States. Now, there will eventually be a fully electric Wrangler, which was hinted to us by the Jeep Magneto concept, but how is this 4xe and this little hint of a fully electrified Jeep Wrangler in this specific model? You have a total of 21 miles. I'm still driving on fully electric power alone at 42 miles an hour, although, let that truck pass, when you hit the accelerator in full electric mode, the gasoline engine will kick on at some point. But let's see if it stops and goes back to electric at cruising speed of 45. Yep, it goes back to fully electric. Not bad. It is a little weird to experience an electrified Jeep because it is a bit quiet. The last Jeep I actually test drove was a 392, and that was extremely loud, so this is a huge difference. But in terms of daily drivability, it's still pretty much a Wrangler. There's not much difference at all. Even though this is meant to be a more eco-friendly version of the Wrangler, this is still trail rated, meaning it has full-time 4x4 with a 2-speed transfer case. It has a fully articulating suspension and it can drive through 30 inches of water if you want to. The one I'm driving here is a Sahara trim, and you can get the 4xe in the Rubicon trim if you're into a more active off-roading lifestyle. But overall, again, it's just like a Wrangler. All that said, is it worth paying extra for the Wrangler 4xe? Let's find out. Let me give you a quick tour of this plug-in hybrid Wrangler, and then I'll give you my opinion on whether or not if you should spend the extra money to get 21 miles of electric range. Make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit like. All right, let's do this. All right, so let's start off this tour by taking a look at some of the cool and interesting things that you should know about the new Jeep Wrangler 4xe. I don't know why, but it still feels weird saying 4xe. Now, I've reviewed the new generation of the Wrangler twice before, and a lot of the cool and interesting features I've already pointed out there. So I'll link my Wrangler 392 review in the description below if you want to check it out. I highly recommend that one. That said, let's talk about the total other end of the spectrum. While the 392 is meant to be a gas and environment burning beast, the 4xe is meant to help those that want to drive over Mother Nature without feeling too bad about it. To that end, the 4xe is a plug-in hybrid Wrangler that will give you a total of 21 miles on a full charge. So if you want to continuously drive on electric power alone, you'll be charging this thing a lot. But to help with the electric side of things, the Wrangler 4xe has something called e-select modes. The first mode is the hybrid mode. This is basically the default mode for the 4xe with the electric motor and the gasoline engine working together. Next up, you have the electric mode, which is pretty self-explanatory. In this mode, the 4xe will run on electric power until the battery reaches minimum charge, and then the engine will obviously kick in. And then you have something called e-save. E-save will allow you to save your battery power for later use when you either want to sneak up on someone or show off to somebody that you care about Mother Nature. This mode will also allow you to charge the battery as you're just driving along. That's pretty cool. And if you really want to max out your regen braking to increase battery charge, you can pop the 4xe into max regen, which will basically slow this thing down faster than the standard regen braking to generate more electricity for the battery. Next up, and I just thought this was funny to see in a Wrangler, Jeeps in general are known for their off-roading pages. Well, in the Wrangler 4xe, you have something called e-coaching pages. which will basically let you monitor the power flow, see the impact of your regen braking, schedule charging time so you can charge at lower rates, and you can also view your driving history to see how kind or mean you have been to Earth. Now, Jeep is known for Easter eggs, and I've covered a ton in my Wrangler 392 review. However, the 4xe has some really interesting model-specific ones that are pretty fun. Pop open the gas cap, and on the back you'll see the letters PHEV around the Jeep grille, which obviously stands for plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Pop open the cap for your charging port, and you'll see a tiny little Jeep Willys climbing the battery charging indicator. And my favorite one here is right under the rear seat. If you lift it, you'll see an electric-powered Jeep Willys. That's pretty cool. Let's talk about pricing for the new Wrangler. The Wrangler Sport, the gasoline-powered one, starts at $32,570. The 4xe is only available as a Sahara and Rubicon, with the Sahara starting at $51,225 and the Rubicon starting at $54,925. So starting off with the 4xe Sahara trim, which is the one I'm testing here, as standard you get the Uconnect 4 infotainment system, housed in an 8.4-inch touchscreen display with navigation, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. You get dual zone climate control, you have really comfortable leather trim seats, and of course, each Wrangler 4xe is trail rated and gets trail rated running gear because it wouldn't be a Wrangler if it couldn't go off-roading. That said, you can add on some options, which I personally feel should have been standard at a starting price tag of over $50,000. So you can add on things like heated front seats and a heated steering wheel, which are a part of the cold weather package for an extra $995. You can add on some driver assist tech like adaptive cruise control, automatic high beam assist, forward collision warning, blind spot cameras, Park Sense. These are all a part of 2 different safety packages. And those options can get you very close to the $60,000 mark very quickly. All right, so let's talk horsepower and torque. Power comes from a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo engine mated to 2 electric motors, and that gives the Wrangler 4xe a combined output of 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque, which is pretty impressive, and it's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And when working all together, that will allow the Wrangler 4xe to go from 0 to 60 in just 5.5 seconds, which is pretty impressive. And top speed, like usual, is limited to 100 miles an hour. As for fuel economy, the Wrangler 4xe is rated at 20 city and 20 highway just on gas. Gas and electric together, it's rated at 49 mpge, and you have a total electric range of 21 miles. I'm averaging, after a few days of driving in mostly e-save mode, a total of 20.9 miles a gallon. My electric range is at 22 miles with the battery at 87%, so maybe when I actually switch over to hybrid mode, it'll adjust that, but it's officially quoted at 21 miles of electric range. Let's talk about the exterior design. Well, not much really to talk about here because it still looks pretty much like a Wrangler, nothing that plug-in hybrid or EV about it. The only way you can really tell it apart from a gasoline-powered Wrangler is by the badges, which have been blued out. So you'll see blue right here in the back with the 4xe badge. The trail-rated badge is also in blue, along with the Wrangler logo right here. The Rubicon has many more blue elements, especially if you get the towing package, but yeah, I love the way the Wranglers look, and this isn't that different from what we've come to know and love. Now step inside the 4xe and everything is obviously instantly recognizable as a Wrangler. There's not too much, hey, look at me, I'm fuel efficient design cues going on here. And even though I've shown you in my other Wrangler reviews, we still have to hop in the back and check out the rear legroom because it's important to you guys. You have a total of 38.2 inches back here. I'm about 6 foot tall. That is my seating position, as you can see. Still a good amount of room. Sorry for the mess that I have back here. One interesting thing that I wanted to point out here is that you know how Wranglers usually have some extra storage under the rear seats? In the 4xe, all you have is a bunch of battery components on both sides. Let me just reach over and pull that up if I can. Yep, just battery components. Kind of weird. Now, before I give you my opinion on whether or not if it's worth getting the Wrangler 4xe, let me point out a few random things that I'll have to show all of you. You have 4 cup holders, 2 in the front for the front passengers, and then you have 2 in the back for the rear passengers. Here are the keys to the Wrangler 4xe, no 4xe badge, which I really appreciate. They didn't go crazy with badging this thing and screaming that it's a plug-in hybrid. Door open and close sound from the outside and from the inside. Pretty much Wrangler doors. Charging game wise, you don't get a wireless charger. You have a USB-C port and a USB-A port right there. You've got another USB-A port in the storage under the armrest. Rear passengers are working with 2 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, and a household outlet back here, so they're pretty packed. And let's listen to the indicator and horn sound test on the 2021 Jeep Wrangler 4xe. Indicator first. We've heard that before, and now the horn sound, which you've also heard before. Oh yeah, Very solid indeed. And now that I've given you a tour of the Wrangler 4xe, let me give you my opinion on whether or not if you should drop the extra money on this while I'm going 60 miles an hour on electric power alone. All right, so to properly answer that question, we have to look at the price tag. The 4xe is available in the Sahara trim and the Rubicon trim only. A regular gasoline-powered Sahara starts right under $40,000, and a regular gasoline-powered Rubicon starts around $43,000. The Sahara 4xe starts at over $51,000, and the Rubicon 4xe starts right under $55,000. So is the 4xe-ness worth an extra $11,000 to $12,000? Only if you're going to charge this up to 21 miles every day, and only if you're going to drive away from your home 10.5 miles because you're going to need the other 10.5 to get back. That's the only way where I can see this make sense. To me, the fuel savings aren't drastic enough to justify the higher costs. I guess I would just wait for the Magneto to become a reality. Either way, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit like, make sure you follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. My handle is @OmarDrives. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Peace. Although it is really weird to hear a Jeep make the sounds of an electric vehicle. And on whether or not if you should buy this or just a regular Wrangler.